Hi and welcome to an episode of Talk with me, Kamal Kaur. Today I'm delighted to introduce you to very special guests. We have Rupinder Kaur, we have Remet Kaur Riot, we have Simran Kaur, Belinda Kaur and Sabjit Kaur. Rupinder is the award-winning founder of Asian Women Meet Business, AWMB. She is passionate about helping Asian women to reach their true potential by unlocking their secret strengths. And in August this year, Rupinder and a team of 15 strong Asian women are tackling Mount Kilimanjaro, which is in Tanzania and it's the highest mountain on the African continent. So Rupinder, ladies, thank you so much for coming to the SIKH channel today. You're all looking so glamorous. I was expecting you to turn up in your hiking boots and your rucksacks.
You did consider that.
I'm loving the yellow subject. It looks gorgeous. So yeah, tell me more about your journey and your adventure. What's made you do this?
So this really is a dream that's come true after 20 years. So 20 years ago when I was at university, and I know I don't look that old, but it was 20 years ago, I just had this dream of wanting to go to Africa and climb Mount Kilimanjaro. The person I was 20 years ago is not the person I am now. And so 20 years ago, I didn't have the confidence or the self-awareness or even the ability to speak to my parents to say, I really want to do this. And 20 years ago, things were so different for our community, for how South Asian women were, how women were. But it's been there. And then, what happens? You graduate, you get a job, you get a house, you get a mortgage, you have kids. And as probably happens to a lot of women, I just parked the dream. I thought, how on earth can I do this? How can I just go off to Africa? How can I do this? But then 5 years ago, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law went. And I was pregnant at the time, so I couldn't go. But it really triggered something in me. And I just felt, so I was so happy for them, but I was so sad for me because I thought, that was my dream. That's what I wanted, and I didn't get to do it. So after I had my son, I remember saying to myself, right, I'm going to do this before I turn 40. So I booked it. I booked the trip. I was going to join an existing group. And then obviously the pandemic hit, COVID came. We had to cancel that trip twice. But in the meantime, I kept talking to other people. And I kept telling the women, I was like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this before I turn 40. And slowly, they all started to whisper back and said,
wow.
Actually, the conversation was, Rupinder, can we join you? Or are you doing this to escape, get away from us? And I honestly, I was so shocked that more women wanted to do it. So then we spoke to a travel provider and said, would you do a bespoke trip just for us, just for a group of South Asian women? Because that's really important. It's really important we partner with someone who was safe and credible. And they said, absolutely, we'll do that. So we opened up this and we have 15 women going to Africa in 3 months' time to summit Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, amazing. So Remet, you are an award-winning documentary director. So why did you get involved and how have you been, what's it been like filming?
So I think one of my sort of goals as a filmmaker and as a documentary director is to amplify people's voices, especially those who are disadvantaged in some way. And I really obviously resonate with the stories of Indian women, having been through some of the sort of challenges and having an understanding of the different roles that we as Indian women have to play as daughters, as wives, as daughter-in-laws, and all those kind of things that we hold. And so when I spoke to Rupinder and when she mentioned that she wanted this film to be made, I jumped at the idea because I thought this is an absolute dream to be able to document, firstly, a monumental journey which has never ever happened before, and secondly, to be able to support these women to tell their stories, because I think it's really important that the filmmaker has an understanding of the challenges and can meet them on that level, because I think it would be a very different film if there was a white man coming here and joining this team and telling the story from their kind of lens. I think it's much more powerful for me to kind of just step away and allow these women to tell their own stories and try and document it in whatever way I can. And in terms of the filming, it's been really incredible. So we've only had one filming day, but it feels like I have known these women for years and years. And that one filming day was so powerful. And every woman has their own stories and their own challenges. And it makes me think about how you know, this journey is not just about summiting Kilimanjaro. These women have summited so much just to get here and just to take up space as Indian women, which we're so, like, you know, uncomfortable doing and uncomfortable.
Really conscious about that, aren't we? About taking up space.
Yeah, like taking up space and being able to go, actually, I'm a priority and my training is a priority and I have to get this in. So all of that, unpacking that has been so interesting for me on a personal level, as well as being able to be behind the camera and document that and kind of tease those, get those questions and tease those answers. So yeah, it's a dream.
Definitely a dream subject. What's the biggest challenge? We've talked about challenges. What's the biggest challenge been for you onto this journey so far?
So for me, I was the last woman to join, and it's because my daughter Gusama's birthday is whilst I'm away. So I put a no to it. That for me was the biggest initial challenge. And I think also I've been raised in a multi-generational extended family. I've lived my life following a set of rules that I wasn't even told them. I observed them intuitively. And I always had a suspicion that there was a brave soul inside, but I never tapped into that. And one of the most biggest things that I've realised is in order for me to tap into that braveness, I have to make those decisions. But I'm almost learning to be a newer, more authentic version of myself. And I think basically fitting in the training and so on has been a challenge. But I must say that it's been a rewarding challenge, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. So you would find that if you want to reach your goals, you automatically find that level of commitments. So, you know, ladies, I bet you've been working out good time management skills, and you're making better food choices, and you're working well together as a team. And those are kind of things that you've picked up along the way, as well as the physical side of it. The mental side can be quite grueling as well, as I expect. But you've done amazingly so far. So Simran, what are you looking forward to the most?
So for me, going back to Moshi and Arusha, because my Dadaji and my Nanaji both lived there after India, like they went to Moshi. So for me, I've always wanted to go back, and if this opportunity hadn't come, I don't think I would have really gone because I have I had my great Nonni there, and I always thought that I would go there to see her, but she passed away pre-COVID. So I just felt like there was nothing there left for me to go. But going there and actually feeling like their presence when I go there is going to be, I think, the best thing for me. And just getting to the summit as well, because I've done Snowdon before. And that feeling of achieving heights, it's just inexplainable.
Brilliant, Simran. So my dad's Nanaji was from Moshi as well. So growing up, my dad used to talk about Mount Kilimanjaro, and to me it was always this magical place, this place where, you know, unicorns will be dancing up there and all this kind of stuff. And the fact that you guys are going there and you're going back as well because you've got an ancestral tie there, I think that's absolutely brilliant. And you could just imagine that extra feeling of that happiness that you will get when you go up there. So Sabjit, again back to you, because I really love what you're saying about the toying between your personal life and wanting to achieve your goals. So now you've managed to do that, you've done that biggest challenge. What 3 words just give me 3 words that describe how you're feeling right now.
I'm very excited. There is a degree of trepidation and also hope, but not just for me. It's been wonderful seeing the impact that this is having on my children. So I've shared previously, I came down the stairs and I observed my children dressed up in my hiking gear, and they were pretending that they were going to Kilimanjaro.
Oh.
And that was phenomenal, because prior to this, they didn't even know what Kilimanjaro was. So, yeah, hope really.
all the social media attention has been so positive, and seeing you guys on your hiking trips, the energy there, the vibe is so high. So Belinda, what have you guys been doing as a team? What conscious efforts have you been doing as a team to remain in Jud Nicola all the time?
So first of all, one of the main things is Guru Sahib and Sangat, and we have Sangat is in going to the Gurdwara, our community, but also Rapinder's community, which is Inspire Club. They're just the most amazing sisters that you could ask for. And you know, growing up, when you see your elders, I remember seeing so much strength in them, and so much community and helping each other. But as I got older, that was kind of lost. I thought, oh, they were like that. Would there ever be that kind of pyar for each other? Not relationship-wise, but just as in wanting others to do well, just because they're, you know, they're part of your community. And I'm so glad that she created this place, because this is what this is. You know, it's your children are their children. Your doc is their doc. It's been so powerful that I don't think I could put that in words. But if you ask any of the sisters, they'll say the same thing. We, you know, if you feel a bit rubbish one day, the others will lift you.
It's amazing.
So, yeah, it has been an amazing roller coaster.
What do you think that you will miss or you won't miss while you're out there? I know you're professional.
No household chores.
You're a professional. You own Tara's teepees, so you're very professional in that sense. So you've got a professional life, you've got a busy home life, you've got 3 children.
I've got 3 children. Yeah.
So, you know, is anything that you're happy to park for a few days?
Well, I'll miss the children to some degree. I'm looking forward to just being in amazing company, but I'm just thinking missing-wise, I don't think I've really thought of what I'm going to miss, because I've got everything to gain from doing this, that it is that small period of time, and as mothers, and just as South Asian women, we put everything before ourselves. So this is probably one of the first times in such a long, well, I can't even remember when, before having children, that I've even thought of doing anything for myself. So, so I don't think I'm really going to miss much, if I'm being honest.
That's good, because then that's not giving you any doubt then. You know, your heart's pure, your intentions are pure from the start. If you start missing things, and that's where the doubt automatically then starts coming in.
The children, if you do have children, they'll be with family anyway, and they're going to be doing their own thing. Really, there's nothing, you're not going to be putting anybody out by doing something. That they'll be doing their own thing. So
Brilliant. Samjit, so you know you've got children yourself, so how have you fit in training then, and how have you found it? What in your day-to-day, are you doing training like every day, or is it a few times a week commitment? Like, how are you doing? This isn't like a couch to 5k, this isn't a fun run, so it is quite, you know, how are you doing? Is it quite hilly where you are? I'm not sure.
Firstly, I must say thank you to my husband, because he has been picking up a lot of the slack, because I've been doing more HIIT training. I've increased that. I go on more walks. We've got a lovely organised walk near to where I live. So I've been combining that into my training regime as well. And then more longer walks as well. In essence, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this had it not been for the support of not only my husband but also my mum, because she looks after the children when I'm doing things, and also my brothers as well. They entertain the children, they view it as a treat, and I don't feel as guilty, and that's how I've been doing it.
We forget as well as women, we think that we should do everything ourselves. If we're not there, the house is going to fall apart, you know, everyone's going to go wild when we're not there. But when you've got that loving family around you, like you've got your mum, your husband, your children, your brothers, and your other family as well, if you automatically feel that love, and they want that for you as well. They want to see you happy. They want to see you succeed. And this is what we need to keep in our minds, that when and if ever any doubt or any guilt comes in, I always say to myself, I know I've got my family on both sides who do care about me. You know, they do want to see me succeed. And they do look after my children when I'm not around, but that's what we want in our lives.
But actually what I've observed is because of the training, I've actually got more energy for the children. I'm able to run around after them a lot more because my energy levels are naturally increasing because of the training.
Brilliant. So you've seen a massive increase in your fitness levels.
Definitely.
And then, then all the positive endorphins that come with that as well is just allowing you to be a better parent.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Simran, you're 30 years old. What a way to bring in your 30s is doing this amazing expedition. There are some ladies, though, who are not as fortunate as us at this moment in time. What advice would you give to women who want to see a change but just don't know where to start?
I'd say just for me, surrounding myself with Sangat, which I've never really been a part of through my life. Like, I've never had an Apne Sangat, and coming into that last year and coming into Inspire, it's just been amazing. So surrounding, I think your environment plays a major factor in the way you want to change and shape yourself in future. Without this Sangat, I don't know if I would be doing this, but also this Sangat has taught me a lot in terms of like the stuff we're doing in terms of preparation, mental strength, like even the job-based jobs that we do on a regular basis, that gives us strength in where we're going to go and stuff. So I think a lot of it is to do with looking around at the Sangat, and it's amazing to see that we're all at different stages of our lives, some married, some unmarried, some grandmothers, some mothers. So regardless of what stage you are in terms of life, it's just nice, like, just follow your dreams and just take, don't rule out your goals list or anything like that. Everything's important in life, I think. And just go for it, I'd say.
So you're the youngest member of the team. So you're 30, and the eldest member is 62?
62.
Brilliant. So on your side of the scale, being unmarried at home, what was your friends and family's reaction when you first told them you wanted to do this?
They were really supportive about it. I travel a lot on my own as well, so I've always loved travelling on my own as well. And being able to do this within a community, they were very, very excited for me and very supportive of it. Also, they were a bit like, it is a simple living when we'll be up there. So for me, they thought, oh my God, it's crazy. She's going to be doing camping. She's going to be doing like, Simran, you camp or outside in the wild and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be a bit different. So they were excited, but they've been very, very supportive. Like, my sister's been waking up with me early morning, taking me for walks, like 2 hours here and there with the dog and stuff. And it's nice to see like the support from my family and my friends as well.
That's brilliant. And then if a lady came up to you at this moment in time and said, I want to do this, but I don't feel I can, there's something inside me that's making me just stop because I don't feel I'm going to get that family support. What do you guys think? What do you think that would be the best reaction?
So I think what's really great about our trip is that we have, so Simran literally has just turned 30, right the way up to Hardeep Benji, who's 62, and the rest of us are 40s and 50s. And each of us had a very different reaction. So actually, even when I wanted to do Kilimanjaro 2 years ago, I said to my husband, will you do it with me? And he looked at me as if I'd grown an extra head. He said, I don't understand. Why do you want to climb a mountain? And here's the thing, when you're married, and I've been married 16 years, you think you have to do everything with your husband, and you think you have to ask for permission. You think you have to get their agreement. Now, I'm quite fortunate because he was like, I don't want to do it. And I thought, just because he doesn't want to do it doesn't mean I can't do it. And he's very supportive. Not all of the families and not all of the husbands were as supportive initially. And there was lots of conversations that had to take place around, and we've had to have this conversation as a group. Are we selfish for doing this? We are spending probably £7,000 on this trip. That's like a family holiday, maybe 2 family holidays. We're spending that money on ourselves. That brings up emotions. Am I allowed to spend this much money? How do I feel about that? It also means that we're taking a lot of time away from our family. How do we feel about that? Who's going to pick up that slack? If you have a husband who isn't supportive, how do you manage that? But what's really incredible is the conversations that we're having within ourselves. And then we're opening it up. So we've been doing Instagram lives, we've been talking about it. We want to, even today, like we want anyone who's watching this, we want you to have a conversation with your families. You might not want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, but you might have a dream that you want to do. You might want to leave your job, you might want to start a job, you might want to start a business. You need to have those conversations and tell each other what you want. And that's what we're trying to encourage, is just have that conversation, because too many women are sleeping on their dreams. Too many women in our community are not doing what they want to do because they're so scared of the reaction of the people that they love and strangers. And what we want to show with this trip is it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to have that conversation. It's okay if you're 30 years old to say to your family. And what I love about Simran, by the way, is going back to my thing. For 20 years I was too scared to do it. The fact that we have someone who's just turned 30, it fills my heart with so much joy, because we think about what's possible. Then we all have daughters, so we want to encourage our daughters to do it, but they can't do it unless we do it.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us more about the documentary that you're putting together then, and the hashtag, and how other people can follow you on your journey.
Yeah, so when we decided to put this group together, the travel provider that we're doing it with, she said to me, she said, Rupinder, you know there's never been an all South Asian female group that have summited Kilimanjaro. And I said, that can't be right. Like, how can we be in 2021 then? And so I did my research, I spoke to lots of people, and she was right. And so she had planted the seed to say, I think this is something that needs to be captured. And as Remat said earlier, it was so important to me and us that if it was going to be captured, it had to be a South Asian female documentary maker, because we have that talent. And how lucky are we? We have Remat.
Yes.
So we're filming for the documentary. We're actually just recently have launched our crowdfunder for the documentary. Every woman on this trip has paid for herself. But we are looking for our community to support us with the documentary, because the documentary isn't about us and isn't for us. It is for our community, and it's going to unpack the themes around breaking stereotypes, breaking boundaries. We've seen a short snippets with our daughters and the impact it's having on them. So we would love to have support on that. And I think, Remat, if you've got anything else to add about the documentary?
Yeah, I just think it's really important that this documentary is seen like on a mainstream platform, and it's given that level of, you know, that space that it deserves. So this is not the kind of film that we plan to just, you know, just make it as sort of amateurly as possible and just stick it on YouTube. This is not that kind of film. We actually, in taking up space, we want to take up space on those mainstream platforms. So why can't this film be on Amazon Prime? Why can't this film be in cinemas? And why can't it have that space that it deserves? And so that's one of my goals, to get all of you and all of your stories in front of these, you know, just your average Joes of the UK and beyond. Like, I want it to be on something like Amazon Prime or Netflix, because I want your stories to be heard by not just our community, but, you know, so many other communities, because to be able to represent our community and the women of our community is so powerful. And I just feel so privileged that that's an option for us. So that's my dream, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really keen for this film to be funded, so that we can make it, and we can make it a success, and we can share it.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
And there's something about the fact that even since we've been training and sharing, the messages I get, and everyone gets from women saying, can we join you? Is it too late? We want to do this. And even that makes me think that if we can have this impact on just through our social media, what could this documentary do?
Yes.
Like, wouldn't it, just before we were talking, wouldn't it be amazing if every year there was a group of 15, 20 women that look like us that go to Kilimanjaro?
Yeah.
And that is possible because they'll have visibility of it through this documentary.
Absolutely brilliant. So, guys, there you have it. Never before has there been a team of 15 South Asian women to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I want you all to join me in wishing this team of amazing, inspiring ladies the most safest and successful of trips. And we can't wait to see the documentary when it's out. You can follow the progress of the ladies now on Instagram, which is hashtag Climb Kili with AWMB. We will pop it up on the screen as well. And there is a trailer as well for the GoFundMe campaign, which we will endeavour to show you soon as well. But thank you. Any last words, ladies? Anything you want to add?
for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.